What's up, everyone? This is the Raw Truth coming at you with another video. And this video was sparked on I did a series on Tommy Sotomayor's A Fatherless America versus Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Color. And basically what I did is I really went after Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Color because it was riddled with flaws and he taught a whole lot of history. I give Tariq Nasheed that, but he didn't differentiate the history. There's a lot of history that is not ours in Africa. There is history that is ours. And coming away having people feeling that they're Africans led them to the state of being dumb because that land was never called Africa. And I realized that a lot of people are taking offense of that. A lot of people, or some people are saying, well, I know a lot of people are because they're thumbs downing the video instead of having an open mind. And that's the problem with the black community. You don't have an open mind. And one of the questions that came up is, not questions, a statement was, you're just jealous because Tariq Nasheed, he's a best-selling author, he has all this going, and by logic, that will mean that you have low self-esteem because you don't have everything going like Tariq Nasheed, but you're a follower. So, if I'm a hater, then you have low self-esteem. But one thing that stuck out to my mind a lot is that, when I ripped Umar Johnson apart because of him sleeping with a stripper, but he calls himself a doctor, and doctors are supposed to heal. He couldn't heal her from being a stripper, but he had to satisfy his lust and stuff. So, I begin to understand is that black folks, let me tell you, we suck. We suck so much as a people. Why? Because we're so used to giving injustice out to each other. We can no longer sit up there and ask the white man and beg and demand the white man to give us justice when we always create injustice for ourselves. Because now I'm accused of being a hater of Tariq Nasheed. I'm accused of being jealous of Tariq Nasheed. First of all, I'm not jealous of Tariq Nasheed. Let me address that. How can I be jealous of Tariq Nasheed when you can get Tariq Nasheed and I in a room and we'll debate about so-called Africa, and I'll destroy him with history that I believe that he withheld. And the reason why I believe that he withheld that history, because of when he was roasting Tommy Sotomayor, or call himself roasting Tommy Sotomayor, there is this black doll. Yeah, I want you to look at that meme. Alright, all you Tariq Nasheed supporters, look at that meme. In that meme, you have what is called hidden colors. On one side, see that? And on the other side, there's also called the hidden colors. But right there is a doll that supposedly represents Tommy Sotomayor. You see that? Now, I want you to pay attention to that shirt. Look at that shirt. What's on that shirt? Why is there a shield of David on that shirt? Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold your horses now. When Tommy Sotomayor invited Tariq Nasheed, Zoe and them up to his, as he says, struggling mansion, when they had a barbecue, they ate good, they drank good. They had themselves a good time. Tommy Sotomayor even had a 5-minute clip of Tariq Nasheed clowning Tommy Sotomayor over his gear. They had a great time. You should have seen the comments. I could see the t-shirts. TNT. TNT. Why was it TNT? Because I was believing that Tommy Sotomayor and Tariq Nasheed together and bring other brothers abroad so we can get things hopping and popping. And I'm looking at it and I'm going to say, that's what's up. That's what's up. Tommy had Tariq Nasheed on before, on his show, and they were discussing hidden colors, that kind of show. Didn't care too much about, it was good to see the brothers talk, but, I wanted to say a lot of that history is not ours. Like King Tut, that's not ours. None of dealing with that, that's not ours. The Ethiopians, those people are not us. But, just to see them getting along and talking. Well, it wasn't until Tommy Sotomayor asked Tariq Nasheed about the so-called Jews' involvement of the transatlantic slave trade that everything goes downhill. Now you got to ask yourself, why did everything goes downhill whenever a question about the so-called Jews being involved in our transatlantic slave trade, which means that they controlled it? Why did everything go downhill from there? Well, you have to understand, when you're part of an organization or part of the elite, you get perks. So now I'm beginning to understand how is it that Tariq Nasheed can get a lot of money, get things hopping and popping. You get perks. And looking at that meme right there with that shield of David, you have to understand they deal in symbolism. Now, that could be taken in so many different ways. Number one, it could be taken as Tariq Nasheed is part of a black secret society. And the black secret society has different code of ethics. And different code of ethics is you can't be about your people. You have to pretend that you are, but your business is about the white man. Look at the Boule Society. Look up Henry Minton. Henry Minton in 1904 created the Boule Society. In the Boule Society creed, what they go by, the law they go by is that they answer to the elite, because the Boule Society, they call the black skull and bones, because it was fashion, everything was taken from the white man's skull and bones, and the white man's skull and bones have a lot of sodomy in it, are high price paying athletes, movie stars and stuff, they're a part of it. Your Bill Cosby is part of it, which is why he broke some laws, and so now he's getting punished and stuff. So you have to understand that, whenever I see that shield of David on the Mayor, it could mean that he's sending his signal out to the so-called Jews that he's down for them by mocking Tommy. That's number one. And number one is not good. Number two, maybe Tariq Nasheed had to turn on Tommy Sotomayor to protect him from what he's into. Maybe he had to say, well, you know what? I can't tell Tommy what I'm into because I don't want to drag him into it, because I have to do this and I have to do that. And I don't want him to face what I have to face. So now I have to turn on him. So one of the ways to protecting Tommy is probably pushing Tommy away, talking about him like a dog and stuff like that, just to appease the people that control him. Because I believe Tariq Nasheed is controlled. Because the so-called Jews, I know they ain't Jews at all. They're not going to let you take the shield of David and put it on a doll and mock somebody. They're not going to let you do that. There's a reason why Tariq Nasheed did that. So that's one other phase. The other phase, it could be so many other things, but by him not bringing up the so-called Jews, by him not bringing up the people, with the Africa and the Arabs who actually sold us, and not hitting on that strong, because if he did, then people will be leaving the Pan-Africanism. If he did, people will be leaving Islam. But our people is growing in this African crap, and they're growing in Islam, and they're defending the religions of their own oppressor. Christianity is not only the oppressor, the only oppressing religion out there. So when I'm looking at that doll, and I'm looking at the Star of David, and I'm looking at this being placed between two hidden color thing, maybe that's your hidden color. Maybe you're just crying out. Maybe you're just crying out like crazy, Tariq. You realize what you're into, and you can't get out, because if you try to get out, something may happen to you. They may take your perks away, which means you won't be able to sell books or make another damn movie again. Well, that's what's going on like crazy with people who are superstars and athletes and stuff. Once they sell their soul to Satan and get all the rich and book deals and everything that they want, when they want to get out and stuff, now they be like Tupac crying, kill Illuminati, I want to kill this shit, I'm going to kill this shit, and they killed him. Or be like Whitney Houston and went to Israel to get baptized into Jordan, Started going to church, reading the Bible, and he still killed her. So you have to understand there's a whole lot of mess that's going on here. Tariq Nasheed has said, and what Tariq Nasheed has done, and I'm looking at the situation between him and Tommy Sotomayor, something doesn't seem right. You cannot invite somebody to your house, have a good time, and all of a sudden, one question, boom, you got to get rid of that person, and you got to talk about that person. Because, come on, by logic, that don't seem right at all. It never set with me. How could Tariq Nasheed do this to Tommy? They had a good time. We all seen it. And I'm not trying to have anybody come on my channel and start talking stuff, or you don't know what you're talking about. First of all, I already warned y'all with the first several videos that I made that you need to do research of what I'm saying, because every time you leave a comment, you make yourself look foolish. And I notice some people's leaving comments, oh, you're full of crap, or you're full of this, but you have no proof to back up, nor could refute anything that I'm saying. I should be blocking every one of y'all from even commenting, but I'm not. I'm going to let your stupidity resonate on a comment board. And hopefully with somebody who have common sense and knowledge will come and rebuke your behind and refute your behind and pull whatever you believe out so it could be crushed. So you have to understand this is it may sound weird what I'm saying, and you may think that my videos is too harsh, but you know what? Slavery was too harsh. Us working on a job, majority of our jobs are too harsh and stuff. I'm trying to build the soul and the minds of our community. Before you can do something physically, you have to have your mentality correct and in order, which is why I went after Umar Johnson. His mind is not in order. He has a lot of justification. He has a lot of excuses, and he did a lot of things and that he tried to cover up. He called the woman that he slept with a maggot and called her a tramp and called her a whore. So how can somebody with that mentality build a school physically and handle all them boys who have mothers when he couldn't even handle a stripper and help her out? But a lot of y'all got mad at me. Why? Because I uphold the standards that y'all are afraid of. Why don't y'all just admit it? I uphold a standard that y'all afraid of. I keep my pants on, my zipper up. I don't whore around or anything like that. I don't have bastard children running all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all about respecting my women and making sure my women cover up. My women don't become strippers. My women don't be getting with no good men. My woman, somebody on my comment board left a message. Well, what are you doing for the community? Well, it's a lot I'm doing for my community. It's a ton of things that I'm doing for my community. Question is, what are you doing? A lot of times when folks ask that question, they're not doing it. They're quick to defend Tariq Nasheed. Well, Tariq Nasheed is doing this. Well, what are you doing? I'm part of Women Against Feminism that was started and inspired by a woman that heard Tommy and me. And she decided to go and started Women Against Feminism, and I'm part of that, and I counsel on there. So I'm reaching women. I'm reaching men. I did street teaching myself. So there's a whole heck of a lot of things that I did that y'all didn't know. But y'all quick to bash me. But yet, when I bring out the truth about your Umar or Tariq, oh, no, I can't do that. Well, you shouldn't do what you did. By logic, you should have kept your damn mouth shut. I don't know if there's going to be a part 2 or part 2 to this. I may make one because, this is some serious stuff that's happening in our community. And that's about it. So I'm the raw truth, and that's it. Peace. What's going on, man? Don't worry, I'm out of here in a